long have you got? 2 minutes? Let's go! The French Revolution, arguably the most pivotal event in the history of modern government, began in 1789, when King Louis XVI, facing national bankruptcy, called a feudal parliament called the Estates General to seek the assistance of the three estates, the church, the nobles, and the general populace of France, to resolve his predicament. The monarchy's financial crisis would serve as a trigger for an overthrow of divine right monarchy in the name at first of establishing a republic, like that of the newly formed United States. To that end, the newly empowered, educated elites of France swore the oath of the tennis court to reform their government and defend the rights of man, as explained in the famous Declaration of the Rights of Man and Citizen. Tragically, the pent-up frustrations of the populace would boil over during the constitutional confrontation between king and citizens, overpowering this positive political development. On the 14th of July 1789, in what would become the national holiday of France, the people of Paris stormed the infamous Bastille prison, a symbol of the oppressive monarchy, signaling a rising tide of uncontrollable violence. The French Republic was declared in 1792, with the French army victorious in the field of battle at Valmy against the invading forces of Europe's other monarchs, as the wars of the French Revolution flared up to make the crisis a continental conflagration. With their passions inflamed by the attempt of their European neighbors to snuff out the revolution, the French executed their King Louis XVI in 1793, marking a turn towards the more radical course. The radical revolutionaries, led by Robespierre, seeing enemies of the revolution everywhere, embarked on a campaign of eradicating political rivals, as the dream of liberty became the nightmare of the terror. Robespierre himself was ultimately consumed by the destruction he had wrought, and only the rump of France's Age of Enlightenment remained. This pitiful remnant, known as the Directory, managed barely to contain the megalomaniacal energies of Napoleon Bonaparte and keep a lid on the seething cauldron of the revolution from 1795 to 99, only to see the great general return from amazing exploits abroad and take the reins of the state for himself. The dream of a republic was shattered. In the decades to come, France would instead lead Europe into a new era of socialism.